my day and night all the time. 714, wise, divine, maniac, brainiac, winning the game. I'm the lyrical Jesse James.
Who with us? Thank God it's Friday. Let's get it. Sign in with us. Who with us? Sign in. Who gonna be first today to say something? Let your fingers do the talking. Hit the share. Oh my God, what we doing today? Listen, I got something special today. It's a Who Day day, y'all. All right, let's go. Let's get something going. How many we got in here today? It might just be 4 of us. I'm all right with that. Started with 4. Got a few more. Let me ask you a question. I know it's Friday, but who all just got paid? It's Friday. Who all got paid? Who all just got paid? Friday night. Listen, short show today. Let's be honest. Fridays are slow for us here because I know everybody want to get off work, go get their drink on. They don't want to hear no classes in session on Fridays. I already know. We got a lot we got to go through on Fridays. We didn't work the entire week listening to our boss, listening to the dumbass employees that we work with. And Friday is our day to chill. We don't need no lecture. We don't need none of that shit, Wyatt, man. Cut that shit out. I got it. Trust me. I'm used to it on Fridays. But I'm going to get started in it anyway. I'm going to say what's up to a few people. Look like Sabrina Calloway popped in here first, so I got to give praises to Sabrina for coming in. She says, "Let's get it, Wyatt-Live family," with the crown and the love, you know, the hearts. You gotta love that. What's up, Sabrina? Good that you can be here. Speed is right behind you. He popped in saying, "Good evening, everyone." So we say what's up to Speed. Brenda Early came in. She made it just in time. She says hello to everybody. What day is it, Brenda? I say it's Friday. Did we all just get paid? Don't put it on here that you got paid. A lot of people don't understand when you do shit like that, you expose yourself. You see they going crazy on the internet with all this home invasion stuff. I would chill out on that. That's real talk. No joking. No joking. Hey, it took me a little while to get on because I was reading a story and then I had to go and actually see the story. I went to Cincinnati.com. They sent it to me. Then Demetria sent it to the Wyatt-Live Messenger group. And then I also got it on my in my Messenger. A story here locally, Cincinnati. Another police officer just got federally charged, just got indicted today. We'll talk about that a little bit. Look like Linda Reed just popped in the building. She said TGIF, Black Family Reunion this weekend. That's what's up. We going up against all that right now. So what I'm going to do is that we just going to do a short show, and it's going to be a weekend review. And I don't want to mess up nobody's weekend buzz. I'm not trying to do that. Not trying to mess up anybody's go get your drink and have a good time buzz. Get at us, Wyatt. Get at us Monday, Wyatt, with the bullshit. But I want to enjoy my weekend. Here's what I want to say to you guys about the Black Family Reunion. I'm in the city of Cincinnati. I will not be attending the Black Family Reunion this year, not because I'm on some hater shit. I'm not doing that at all. I'm only being protective. You know, like for us to sit back and talk about, you know, I'm watching what's going on around me. I see a little bit of contradiction, of course. That's just being a human. But I'm looking at all the stories that are being written about overwhelming hospitals saturated with bodies of COVID. I'm watching all of that. Then I'm watching kids go to school. I'm watching a lot of contradictive stuff from the government. And I don't want to say too much because they definitely zapping us now on our podcasts and public speaking. And, you know, you can't get on social media. That's the new way they control us now. We thought we were free. We thought we were free speeched individuals in America. However, if you continue to if these big conglomerate companies, you know, own our platforms. See, we can pump fake like we actually own this. Like, I don't own Wyatt-Live. I mean, I own the trademarks, the name and all that, but we're the content, and I own the content. But do I really own the platform that it's sitting on? You know, the hub? No, not really. And any day they want to cut it off, any day they want to cut me off from being on here, they can give me any old reason. You wore a blue hoodie with red writing on it. That's against our rules. You're suspended for 30 days. They can do that. I mean, that's just how it is. Now you have social media, big platforms that are running a monopoly in social media, which is the way that our kids are learning. A lot of us are learning now. It's a great tool to have. But if it's abused, oh man, it could be the worst thing in the world. I mean, let's be honest. My daughters, my kids, I don't know how many of y'all kids, but they don't even watch television. Television is not even an option. I mean, they might have a program or two that they watch, but when they start kicking in commercials and all that, oh, they disinterested. They watching everything on apps, and they're splurging. What's binge watching? You know, they'll watch a whole season of something in a day or 2 days. 9 episodes, an hour apiece, and be stuck on it. Hell, I'm guilty of that. Honestly, I'm actually guilty of that. So we don't really we're losing control. And to be honest with you, you know, this platform here, I really enjoy doing it. But if they really want to say, hey, Wyatt, you know what, man, we don't like it when you talk that COVID stuff, or we don't like it when you talk about empowering your people by them just doing certain things. You shouldn't be like that. When they say things like that, or if they do say things like that, I have one of two things to do: to either agree with them and play by the rules that they set forth in front of me, or be, you know, defiant. And then what happens? I'm gone. That sounds like how corporate radio is, and corporate television, and all of them are. They slaves to the rhythm of their advertisers and sponsors. I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, well, if somebody, say for instance, Coca-Cola came to Wyatt-Live and said, hey, we want to drop a boatload of money on you. We run your advertisement on the program. And then when we have our competitive things like Coke versus Pepsi, you know what to do. Okay. And then if there's a problem with Coca-Cola, and I'm just using this for argument's sake, okay? Coca-Cola gets into a situation where minority employees are being treated badly. Lawsuit after lawsuit is coming in for discrimination, let's just say. These are hypotheticals. And I'm sponsored by Coca-Cola. Now, what am I going to do? Am I going to come in here and go hard on the people that keep my lights and cameras and actions going on? Am I going to do that as a platform? Or am I going to just report it and then keep it, like, hey, allegedly, they like to use that word. Allegedly, this is what happened. And then, such and such happened. But, and moving on to local news, that's what you do. Sorry, I wanted to get it set up, guys. That's what you do. That's what the big platforms do. Even some of the small podcast people do it. I mean, it's like, how do I say something bad about Coca-Cola if they're a sponsor of my show? Even though they're discriminating against people that look like me and look like you and, against women or whatever the situation may be. How do I address that? Well, it's kind of funny. And I know I'm going to lose some people early because they all coming in class. I know Monday. I know yesterday was the first day of school for your kids. So I'm going to give y'all, a little leeway of coming in class late tonight. Because some of you got the little hangover from getting up early this morning and, you running behind schedule. You kind of flopping around a little bit. So, and then I know it's Friday and everybody work a little late on Friday, right? Now, y'all know y'all check out early. You do what you want to do. But anyway, sponsors rule the world. They rule the media outlets. They rule everything. So if Coca-Cola say, hey, Wyatt, we're going to run these commercials on your platform and keep them good. Keep them coming. And every time we up against Pepsi, damn it, you know what to do. Oh, yeah, I know what to do. Coca-Cola, special to me. It's in my cup every day, every night. Have a Coke and a smile. And you know what I'm looking at now? I know I can't sing a lick. I wasn't born to sing. But you know what's funny about that? Here's what's funny. And then I'm going to come in and I'm going to say what's up to my folks because I love to say what's up to my folks. But I'm watching the media do the same thing right now. Our president, Joe Biden, now I told you I ain't got no skin in the game with Joe. I ain't had no skin in the game with the last fella, Trump. But I'm watching the disparity in how they're handling these two knuckleheads, both of them. I'm just watching something that's a little bit different. I don't know if y'all see it or not because I watch more news outside of local news channels like your local 5, 9, 12, whatever, 19s, all that type shit. I watch international news. I watch a lot of news that is covered in other countries. I'm just kind of a geek to that type of shit because I'm in the stock game and I like to hear what people are listening to. I don't believe everything that's being said, but I like to hear what other people are listening to because more people are influenced based on the source. So I'm looking at the local news channels say Biden had a news conference today addressing the Afghanistan, debacle that's going on. And your news companies locally will only give you enough to satisfy their sponsors. They won't give you the in-depth. They won't give you the fact-checking. They won't give you the things that are really the truth or the bullshit that was said. They won't tell you that. And I know they can't get into a 1 hour. You can't do the whole 1 hour news on one situation. You can't do that. And I don't expect it to. But they sure did a damn good job with that other fella of letting everybody locally know that he was deceptive in the things that he said. They pushed it. Y'all know I made that clear last year. I said, I don't have no problem with them doing that. All right. I don't have no problem with them going and fact checking that other guy, Trump or whatever. I don't have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with them saying he's a liar and this is what he said when he lied. No, I have no problem. I love it. Keep it coming. Keep telling us what's going on. And then at the end of that, I said, I love it because when Biden wins, I just want y'all to have that same energy. And it's not because I dislike Biden and I like Trump and all that. It has nothing to do with that. I love to watch the games be played, the manipulation, and it's very obvious to me. Now, Biden had a press conference today, and he freaking lied. And how I know he lied, and I'm not going to get all in depth. That's just up for you to figure it out. I mean, I ain't trying to be I want you to be able to see, yeah, I see this. You saying one thing, your Department of Defense is saying another thing, but y'all all in the same room when y'all getting y'all stories together. Now, how is that? How do you go off and say one thing and then your defense secretary says another, totally against what you just said, and he was standing on stage with you when you said it? That's all I'm saying to y'all. This ain't a show about that. It's just it so happened to hit me as before I hit the power button on coming on today, and I'm like, I don't see the same energy being matched, one liar against the other liar. My question is, why? Not I hate it, not I'm against it, not that it's not fair, none of that shit. I just want to know why. Why? Isn't that a legitimate question? Isn't it a fair question? There's no doubt in my mind, and I'll leave this alone, and anybody can challenge me because this is my opinion. Watching how America is doing what they're doing right now, they don't have a damn clue what they're doing. They like a child who lied to the mother or the father who got the dog, begged to have a dog, and they promised their mother or their father, Mama, I'm gonna clean up after the dog. I promise. We all been there if you got kids. If you got kids, they always say they promise. This is the last thing in the world I ever want. You get me that? I don't never want nothing else for Christmas or my birthday. Get me this. That's all I ever want. Have we all not heard that once? Shit, I might have said it when I was a kid. Well, let me just say this. Biden is that kid who promised and said, if you just do this, I'll do this and I'll do that. He got that little dog that he wanted. Now he got to clean up after him. And it's pretty clear that he's lying to us about he cleaned up the shit. I know I could be vulgar at times, but he's not cleaning it up. Here's what I want y'all to understand, and I'll get off of it. Here's what I'll say, just to prove my point. You can't say the things that you're saying, President Biden, because America, unlike what most people don't know, we're not the only country that was over in Afghanistan. We had allies. They were soldiers of Britain and Germany. All those people were over there with us. When you hear that we spent $2 trillion or whatever the number is, because I've heard so many different numbers, none of them are real. But let me just explain something to you guys. It wasn't just American money that was being spent over there. I know everybody wants you to know that. Like, Republicans really want you to think that Biden just fucked up $2 trillion over there. That Biden, Obama, then Bush, they just fucked up $2 trillion. Well, I got some news for the people that really want to know some real stuff, okay? It wasn't just America's money. You got allies. They had a pot, the G7 and all that old shit. They all put money in together. Now, I ain't saying that that they didn't hit a lick on us. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, this is not just an American problem. We had allies that agreed to go in with us. But here's where I have a problem. When our president is saying, hey, we good, we this and this and that, we're not going to extract people outside of perimeters. When you hear him say that, but then you watch Germany and Britain pulling their people out, they reporting different shit over in their country than what we're being told, then some truth is not being told to us. I don't have to convince y'all that he lying, right? I don't have to convince you of that. I don't have to convince you. Here's the problem. If you don't hear it from me, you may not hear it from anybody, because Channel 5, Channel 9, Channel 12, Channel 19, your local channels are not really talking about it. I wonder why. Could it be that the Coca-Colas of the world have told them, hey, let's keep this down to a minimum, because this motherfucker don't know what he's doing. And if you don't do what we tell you to do, you will lose our sponsorship. Is that a possibility? I'm just asking. I'm not saying that's what's going on. I'm asking my family, is that what's going on? Is that a possibility? Because what I see is I see a whole nother army, the Taliban, with a whole lot of shit that they never could have got their hands on, from helicopters to M16s and AR-15s, a whole lot of military. I'm talking state-of-the-art shit in their hands right now, just left and dropped. Now, who is organized to pull their military out of anywhere and just drop shit? Y'all thought I was trying to be funny the other day, but I can guarantee you there was a motherfucker sitting in the bathroom taking a dump, and all of a sudden he came out and everybody was gone. That's how disorganized it was. They had bicycles and shit they had Huffy bicycles and shit all sitting on the street. They left everything. Everything. How do you pull out of a country and leave tanks, Hummers, helicopters and shit? How you do that? Their excuse is, well, we left it for the Afghanistan army. No, you didn't. You allocated some of it to them, but y'all left what y'all left. You left an entire infrastructure. You left an entire infrastructure to a whole nother, to the Taliban, who is one day going to make my children and your children. It ain't gonna probably happen on my watch, or it might happen when I'm all old. 20 years go by fast. That 20 that they've been over there was like that. Shit, I could still remember sitting in my basement. That was the first home I ever bought in my life. I remember sitting in that basement and watching the whole purpose of them being in Afghanistan. I remember that. 20 years, come on, man, 20 years. How fast, 20 years? You got to be a certain age to know that 20 years ain't shit unless you're doing time in the joint. But out here going today, hustle to hustle, bustle to bustle, going to work every day, putting 20 years go by like that. Shit, I still got some damn socks in my drawer that I probably wore 20 years ago and just, hey, shit, put them on. Shit, I don't know. But that pull out, y'all know that shit was crazy. It's whack. How do you pull out and then send troops back in? That shows you dysfunction right there. How do you do that? How do you do all of that? How do you pull it now? There has no structure, no exit plan. If this was a CEO of a company, y'all do know the president is the CEO of the United States of America, right? If he was the CEO of any Fortune 500 company, they'd have fired his ass and probably filed charges on him for theft. You didn't let Pepsi have all our intel. You didn't let, if he was the CEO of Coca-Cola would have fired his ass. And then he have a press conference today. This is my last point on that, and we're going to move on. He have a press conference today. He's asked a question that he blatantly lies on and says this, but I don't hear no black folks. I don't hear no chaos agents coming to his rescue. Today was the first day that his damn vice president showed up. I don't know where she been. Every other time, her and Bobby Brown and Heart 1 and Heart 2 background dancers are always there with him. They finally showed up today. Where's she been all week? She get up there, don't say shit. This is the first time she ever been up on stage with him and ain't never said nothing. He usually let her open up. She the opening act. Well, yeah, Mr. President, thank you, and great things happening, blah, 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 blah. Now here's the mic. They doing shit like this. I'm gonna pass it to you, Joe. None of that shit is in play no more because it's time to go to work. Now let's see who got the work in them. If these two jokers was running Coca-Cola, they asses would be fired. And the Republicans are loving this shit as if y'all got some room to talk. Y'all got babies being hung over walls and you taking pictures of that shit. And you're talking about how the kids, the women, the kids, y'all ain't saying that shit about Mexico. You don't give a shit about the Mexican children and the Mexican women, Republicans. So what the hell you want to try to talk about all these Afghanistan women for? You don't care. This is just a great pinpoint moment for you to disgrace a president. That's all. Y'all know I'm independent, right? You know I'm a polished Tudian. I go in on all of them. When my bullshit meter come up, I go in. I told y'all during the debates, these jokers don't have they have nothing to work with. They never answered any questions during the debate. It was all about COVID. How well is he doing with COVID? I told y'all Joe Biden would never shut the country down. Remember? Oh, I'm going to follow the science. I'm going to do what they tell me to do. I'm not smarter than the doctors. We know this joker, meaning the Trump dude, we know he think he know everything. And if they tell me to do this, if they tell me to do that, I'm going to do it. Come on, Joe Biden, you know the smart thing to do. If this Delta variant is so damn bad, shut the country down then, Joe. I bet you won't. What you want to do is you want to do the same thing that the Trump fella was doing. When Trump was doing the same shit you doing right now, he was described as being somebody that just didn't want to take the proper control. He wanted to do shit his way. Did I not tell y'all a year ago when this was going on and everybody was down on the dude? Did I not tell y'all that he can't really do shit being the president? That it's up to the governors, that the Trump fella is leaving the governors in charge of their states. That's how you do it. Did I not say that shit? So how is it if he's so smart and he's so this and he all that, why ain't he pulling the governor of Florida, Santos, why he ain't checking his ass and telling him what to do? You know why he ain't doing that? I got a perfect example for you. Have y'all heard what's going on with the governor over in Kentucky? Andy Beshear, I think his name is. Do you see how many lawsuits his ass is facing? And he done been checked by the Supreme Court telling them, you can't do that. You can't mandate masks. You can't do this. You can't do that. All the shit that y'all think President Joe Biden have the power to make everybody do. But when Trump was not making people do shit, what did everybody say? Oh, he trying to kill everybody. He want to do what he want to do. Y'all was saying sucker shit like he wanted people to take bleach. You got to be an asinine fool if you got out of what he said to drink bleach. You really think, I'm just saying, Joe Biden is not as bad as people think he is, but he's nowhere good as y'all think he is either. They're all the same. I've been saying that. So I watched the press conference today that I had to speak on, and I watched the man lie to the American people. Here's the thing. He know to say certain things when he got his cards and shit in order. If you seen the press conference today, his shit got a little out of order and he got confused. That can happen. There's a lot to know. I ain't mad at him for that. But it shows lack of engagement. When your notes are gone and you gone. But I will say this. Being the president of the United States has to be one of the hardest jobs in the world when you're not on vacation. When your ass is not on vacation, there is work to do when shit is really happening. What I love about this situation, if I could find any good about this, is I listen to shows, I listen to podcasts and radio shows, all go down on the last guy because something happened that has not happened in many, many years, and that's a pandemic, right? Everybody said some bullshit about how that was being handled. It was wrong. He did it wrong, this and this and this and that. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. Y'all act like America was the only country with COVID-19. We're not the only country that's had to take vaccination shots. We're not the only country that had to shut down. We're not the only country that have put people on some form of welfare, some type of government assistance, stimulus checks. We're not the only country to do that. So my question is this: why hasn't there been a fair balance of criticism when a disaster hits this president that he actually created? Now, he did not create the Afghanistan situation, but come on, we all know. You wouldn't be passing babies over walls. You wouldn't be doing half the shit you're doing. All that equipment would not have been left behind. We would not be able to have these press conferences would not be in the same tone or on the same subjects if they had the proper exit plan. I am not mad that America left. I'm not upset at that. I'm upset at the hypocrisy, and I'm upset at the fact that y'all letting these people pump fake us with this bullshit, them lying. It's almost like, oh well, you know how we do, like, got caught. Move on. No, man, this ain't right. This ain't cool. This ain't cool to me. This is not cool. Not cool at all. Let me tell you. I'm listening to other countries or allies that we had in Afghanistan. I'm listening to Great Britain, and I'm listening to the Germany allies. And they're going in getting their people. Almost, I don't want to say almost the same as America, but they're not getting their people the same way America is describing that we're getting ours. President Biden is making it sound like it's just a piece of cake for us. Oh yeah, we got things in order. And here's the difference. You got two national news places. You got Fox covering it and CNN. CNN is showing all the Afghanistans lined up properly, sitting down, eating a apple and an orange juice drink as if they at the daycare. Everything is Gucci. CNN watching everybody run down the street like Jaws is on land, about to chop everybody's ass up, or a hurricane or some type of typhoon is chasing their ass and they running. It looked like a movie. One looked like ain't shit wrong. The other one looked like, oh, well, shit, the world is coming to an end. Ah! So which one is it? You know which one it is? It's the one that Great Britain is showing. It's the one that Germany is showing. It's the one that's showing the Taliban on our ass over there. It's the one showing the Taliban snatching people like, you ain't going nowhere. Keep your ass right here. You're not going to America. That's what it is. But no, see, the reason why we got to make it look like the CNN version is because we got to keep our sponsors right. See, the sponsors telling CNN, make sure everybody's lined up with their orange juice drink, with a Capri Sun, an apple, lined up with the suitcase. Their paperwork is in order. Show that good perimeter, that line. But their cameras don't seem to be walking out into the real shit. Oh, no. No. They're not. They're not. It's amazing to me. It's amazing to me. I'm not against the move out. We were supposed to move out when bin Laden. To be honest with you, it's well overdue, but you got to have an exit plan. You have to have an exit plan. I didn't see an exit plan. And it's obvious there was no exit plan. You take all your troops out, ain't nobody there. All of a sudden, here come Taliban, and now you sending 3,000, you sending 2,500 troops. Now 3,000. Oh shit, we got 7,000 more troops back in that place. More dangerous than ever. You say, as the president, well, there was no way we could have done this any better. Got you. You're fired. if you was anything in any corporate company, if you was running the books, if you was doing anything with any company, running any profit company, any profitable company, you would be fired as the CEO. I'm going to go back to the administration with Obama. To be honest with you, y'all know I voted for Obama. But let me be honest. What my brother should have did. Now, I love me some Obama. You say something bad about Obama, we going to go. All right. Now, I've been critiquing some of the moves that he made, but he still, I rocks with him. It's really Michelle that I rock with, not him, but y'all know how I feel about that. Listen. After Obama sat his ass down in that room, that small room, and watched the monitor of bin Laden getting his wig peeled back, once he seen that, we should have had a 6-month exit plan at that point. We should have let them folks know. Now look, no, we committed. They committed even further to stay in Afghanistan, right? Now what we're going to do is prepare your army for independence. That's where we went wrong. But I understand why they did that. I truly understand. Because if you let Taliban get Afghanistan, I'm going to keep this simple for everybody because I'm not really into that shit either. But if you let Taliban take over Afghanistan, it becomes what we already know. A central location for terrorist people such as Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and all the rest of them crazy folks. So U.S., not just U.S. of A. See, y'all got to stop thinking that this is just Bush. This is the United States, Great Britain, allies, Germany. They had troops there too. They agreed to put some money. They had 5 on it. It wasn't just us. So when I hear people say shit like, America need to mind their business. We always trying to be somebody. We always trying to colonize somebody. No, this was a collaborative agreement for the better of the planet to go to Afghanistan and cut down points where Al-Qaeda and ISIS and places like that can go settle and kind of, run those countries' government by corruption, by fear, by we gonna you and your family up if you don't do what we tell you to do. That's why we were there for so long. I get it. But if we're going to leave, you got to leave the right way. That's all I'm saying. I don't think that everybody will agree with me, but that's just my take. I'm not mad at Joe Biden for making the decision to leave. It's well long overdue. I'm just upset that his exit has been as ridiculous as it is. And I don't agree with how he did it. I agree with needing to leave, but I do not agree with how we did it. All right? And that's all I'll say about that. Let's do weekend review. If you with me, say yeah. We're going to do weekend review. This week we went over a couple things. I want to share something with with some people real fast. I just learned something. Now, y'all know I kind of play and dibble dab in the stock market a little bit. I don't advise it because it is something that you kind of have you got to know a little bit about it in order to get into it. I advise people to invest, but the stock market may not be the first place you want to start. Okay, it's rough. It's rough. All you hear are the success stories. It's like the guy who gamble in your neighborhood, who shoot dice, play cards, whatever he do. When he go to the casino or if he hit the block, it's like that. He only show you when he win. He don't show you that he had to borrow money one day. He don't show you his down times or his bad moments. He only come around you and flash that money when he hit a lick that day. That's how the stock market is, to be honest with you. It's up and down. Matter of fact, I used to tell some of my people who were watching Wyatt-Live back in the day when we first started. Who they, y'all? Excuse me. I used to tell some of my people that would get on, everybody wanted a podcast and you had all these people that was all of a sudden being geniuses. Now, I'm not trying to talk bad. I just want to bring some reality up with everybody real fast. Everybody wanted a podcast and I get it. I got it. But when you had people on here trying to get people stimulus money and telling them how they invest it, I told y'all it was not for me. I was not going to get somebody to invest a $300 or it was $1,200. I was not going to get people to invest a $1,200 in the stock market. Not during a pandemic, not during the times where, yes, you can buy in low, but it was a horrific time to be buying stocks. Where are all those groups that started on Facebook that were all sending me these friend requests and sending me these group chat mess? Are y'all still out here doing what y'all doing, and how's that shit going? You know the stock I bought that was heavy, I'll be honest with you, and I'm not going to talk long about it. I'm just going to give you something because I got something this will keep your interest for a second. I got something very important to say about marijuana and weed. But the one thing that I bought during the pandemic, my heavy two stocks, one was in Netflix. I put a lot of money down on Netflix. The other was in Facebook. What are the two things that we use more often during the pandemic, during the shutdown? What were the two things that we used the most? Now, everybody's not on Facebook, but you know what I mean when I get into the social media aspect of it. Folks, all I'm going to tell you is this. If you ever get into the stock market game, or if you get into wanting to invest in something, always invest in the things that you do the most. It only makes sense. So every day that I'm on Facebook, every day that I do something on Netflix, or my kids are on Netflix or something, I feel like I've invested in the right thing. When I get my quarterly report from Facebook, it's not just telling me who my friends list is. It's showing me if I get dividends on my investment. It's kind of like how I move. It's important that we learn to capitalize. I know a lot of brothers love Nikes. I buy Nikes. So why not every time I go buy a pair of Nikes, I feel better because I know I spent $120 or whatever. I ain't spent $120 on some Nikes. I'm old, y'all. I don't spend $150 on Nikes no more. I've grown up. Now I bought a pair of running shoes I bought from Nike, about a year ago. They was about $120. But that was for comfort. That was for long-lasting running. It was for the purpose for what you buy tennis shoes for. It wasn't no look at me's. I then bought them shoes. I run on them. They didn't got muddy, dirty, stanky, all that. But they serve their purpose. I got something I want to share with y'all. We sat back during the pandemic and we listened to everybody talk about marijuana becoming legalized and all that, right? And then you always got these folks that want to think they gonna get into a game after everybody talking about it, as if you gonna get into the ground floor level when the house is already built. Black folks, I hate to say this, but stop talking about legalizing marijuana so you can now be part of it. Because at this point, you're 3 years late, probably 4 years at this point. Just today, I watched a merger, $116 million merger of two weed manufacturers being bought out on NASCAP, waiting for the United States government to approve marijuana. So how are you and I going to compete with companies doing mergers and splits already in anticipating that the government is going to do something and legalizing weed? What are we gonna do? Sell pipes? Sell shit to get the seeds out the weed? Sell the plastic baggies? That's how we gonna come up in that game? I'm not trying to shit on anybody's parade. I'm just being realistic here. Don't y'all want that from me? You got brothers and sisters sitting back talking about as soon as they legalize this shit, I'm about to go open me up a store. No, you're not. I guarantee you won't. The dispensaries and all that shit are spoken for. The certificates and certifications are spoken for. You just gonna be walking around here just like the people in Vegas did when they legalized it up there, just like the people in Colorado did when they legalized it up there. All you gonna be able to do is keep your ass in the black market of this shit. You can't compete with $116 million merger. It don't have your name on it. And I'm not gonna pump fake you like, oh yeah, here come an opportunity for us. It's not. That ship has sailed 3 years ago. I know it's tough to hear truth. I know it's the shit that we just have to do here. But if I don't tell you, nobody else will. They'll tell you the shit that keep to massage your ears. I listen to it and watch it every day. Oh yeah, black folks, this is what we got to do. What we got to do is be first. I see someone came in and said something. Keith came in and said Biden didn't make those decisions by himself. He has a cabinet of military and secretary officials that advised him. I agree with you. Like I said, I'm not mad at his decision. And I'm not saying Biden made the mistake all by himself. But like he said, the buck stops with me. So, Mr. CEO, I got to put your name on the disaster. That's all. I'm just putting his name on the mess. That's it. You're not putting it on no lieutenants at Coca-Cola. If Coca-Cola make these same moves, you're going to look at the CEO who made the comment, the buck stops with me. And to be honest with you, Biden said it in public. He said it on the microphone. The cabinet was split. I made the decision. The buck stops with me. But then his same cabinet turned around and said some different shit. See, that's what I'm talking about, the inconsistency. And they just did it today. I'm not going to talk about that, man. It's not really on my radar. It's not in my wheel well. I just know when people lying to me. I know when I'm being bullshitted, and that bullshit meter that I have inside of me, you know, the one that my grandmother put inside of me, it works fairly well. I've done pretty good for myself in life. It works fairly well. Tiffany Daniel says, what's up? Where those groups at, those investment groups? Because we just had a merger of $116 million of two weed it was a weed merger of two big companies. What did we see that coming? And this merger was made on the anticipation that marijuana will one day be legalized by the federal government. Thanks, Keith. Keith says, true. Born and raised in Avondale, 27 years retired military. I enjoy your show. Thanks. I appreciate you more than you know, Keith. But I didn't say anything wrong about the Biden situation, brother. I promise you. It's a disaster. 27 years in the military, bro. Thank you for your service. But I tell you what, man, and I don't mean this in any disrespect to the military, nor you personally, my friend. But if I was a retired military person and know what y'all know, you know this was a disaster. It doesn't have anything to do with me feeling like the exit was a bad idea. It's the way it was executed. And anybody that spent 27 years in the military, bro, execution is how you live. You execute how you make your bed up. You execute how you roll your socks up. You execute how you put your clothes on and how you make sure they tight. No matter if you going to the mailbox or you going out for the evening, military people execute. I've been around them. I was in Germany for 3.5 years, bro. I was around military people, military brats. I was around them. They're very calculated. Biden is not a calculated individual, and that shocks me because he was the vice president for damn near a century. So he should have known. There was plenty of intel to show him what was going to happen. He was just lost in the sauce. He was lost in the sauce. He was on some other shit. I knew that he was lacking in areas based on the debates, based on the lack of information and answers that he was giving during debates, the fact that he wouldn't show his face up during certain situations when it was time. He depended on the failure of someone for him to succeed. That's not strength, bro. That's not strength. You know, I find that in the equivalent of this, y'all. I like this girl, but I know her dude ain't shit. I'm just going to wait for him to mess up. I'm okay with that. Fall back, let him mess that up with her, and then you move in when you want to make your move, blah, blah, blah. He killed himself. But I'm not going to help him kill himself with the girl. I'm not going to watch him do things and then go back to her and be like, you know, he was such and such, and he was over at such and such. No, let him kill himself. See, Biden did the sucker shit, and when the dude said something, he went back to us and was like, well, the dude ain't telling the truth, and y'all know this. He took the sucker move. Instead of letting the Trump dude kill himself, he want to try to snitch and say things like, putting it all in our ears. That's weakness, bro. That's weakness. A real man will fall back and let somebody fail, and then you come in today and do all the right shit. And that's not what's going on. That's just my opinion. This is an opinionated driven show. My opinion is all he did and all his arguments were how wrong somebody else was. Is he handling the pandemic any better than the last administration? Let's be honest. The cure, I don't want to call it the cure if you want to call it that, but the shot became available for everybody right after the last administration came in. So now, Mr. President, you come in with the plate of antidote. You come in with the answer to get all this shit right. And people still ain't rocking with it. Because they see the phony shit y'all just did today. Y'all, it was 4 of y'all on stage. Joe Biden, his Secretary of Defense, his Vice President, and the other dude, his Pentagon spokesperson or whatever. They come up on stage today to do a press conference, and them people they behind stage back there talking to each other face to face, and then they put their mask on to come out to the stage, and they stand 6 feet apart from each other, and they had a mask on, and then Joe Biden comes to the microphone and takes his mask off and speaks to the public with 5 people on the stage, hardly nobody in the room, and they at least 12 to 15 feet away from the stage. What's the point of that? It's called theatrical. It's them being theatrical. I watched them do the same thing during the debates, during the run for the presidency. I watched that whole shit. And I said, come on, man. They was just standing back there in the trailer. I just seen them. I could see back there. Kamala is right here in his face, and they talking. And all of a sudden, here come the cameras, and they put their mask on, and now they want to go out on the stage and act like this is the safe thing, America. Come on, man. Stop it. Stop the bullshit. Very easy to see bullshit. My bullshit detector was on 10. It was on 10. But I'm off of that right now. Only reason why I jumped back on it, because my brother, was it Keith? Keith came in and said something, and I wanted to address it. Anybody that put 27 years into the military for the United States of America deserve a response. Deserves a response. He served his country. And he served the country for 27 years and retired from this country. And you got people that talk bad about this country, ain't even put not one day in the military, ain't did shit for their state, and don't do nothing but talk bad about this place. Talk about how we ain't got no opportunities and all that old shit. Don't get me started on that. Don't get me started on that. You have to create your opportunities. Go to the military, put 27 years in. I bet you, Keith, I can't speak for you, brother, but nobody puts 27 years in somewhere and come out and feel like they hadn't had no opportunity. No. I'd love to hear what he would have to say about that. Keith went somewhere where he knew he had some opportunity. Thank you for your service, Keith. Thank you. So this is what I want to do. I want to say something. Let me see what time it is. Yep, it's that time. Listen, there is a rally going on in Cincinnati. I am not going to say anything bad about it because some people that I dearly respect are probably there right now. And I want to plug it because if anybody wants to go there today, it starts at 6 o'clock, where it started about 7 minutes ago. It's over in Avondale. I really wanted to say this before we got into our conversation so people could head that way. It's over in Avondale. It's over where our little boy Pup, our little brother Pup, got shot and murdered by 4 other teenagers. It's over, I believe, at the Family Dollar or it's at one of like the Family Dollar parking lot. And it's a Enough is Enough rally. I was going to go, but I don't know if that's meant for me, because I would go over there and I would love to support. I'm that guy that would support, but my support is a little bit different. My support might be ruffling some feathers, and that's, you don't attack people that's trying to help, but you have to be a person that's genuinely trying to help, not just there for the moment because there's a hidden agenda somewhere. I don't rock with people like that. But don't start doing shit now because there's an election coming up. I will definitely pull your card on that. I will definitely ask you some serious questions. What's different about this rally than the other 25 that I've seen over the years? What are we going to do? Because I'm just going to be honest. My approach is a little bit different. Y'all seen the post I put up today? Yep, there it is. There's the post I put up today. Whose responsibility is it to keep their kids busy and out of trouble? Whose responsibility is it? Whose responsibility is it? Not hard for me to tell you. But is anybody over at that rally going to say it? Now, don't think I'm shitting on the rally. I have people that reached out to me that I respect, got some love for, that are probably there right now, holding up signs in the heat, sweat, wanting to make true change. But I ain't going over there to get my ass kicked because I'm going to say something that ain't nobody going to agree with. And I'm going to ask the question. If the police chief come, or if future city council people, because, 32 of them got their paperwork, got their approval to run for city council. So now it's time to start showing up to shit like change the neighborhood rallies. It's time for the fake far people who need votes to start coming around, and I ain't got time for that type of shit. I don't have time to sit back and entertain and juggle loyalties and juggle fake shit up in the air. I don't have time for shit like that. I got shit to do. I got a pool. I got a workout. I got some shit I got to do I got some things to do around my house, and then I got a bingo game to watch. I don't have time to watch jokers. Now, to my people who are really putting the work in over there, you know what I mean. You know I'm not speaking of you. I'm talking about some of the mothers that have lost their sons to this violence. Angela Satterfield, Black Fox. These are people that are going over there, that are there, involved. These are people that I've spoken to, that I have love for, okay, for their situations. But it's not them I'm referring this talk to. It's the others that want to just show up when the cameras show up. It's the ones that want you to think that they part of the movement because they need your votes. And if I get in City Hall, this is what I'm going to do. Listen, if you really want to get in City Hall, the shit starts well before elections. It starts by being a public figure in your community. People should know you for the things that you've done, not for the things that you say you're going to do. I'm going to let that marinate. Hit the share so I can say that one last time. If you want to be part of city council, if you want to be in these community meetings and see, when I start talking real, I start getting cut. But I'm gonna call it my internet or our connection is a little messed up. Let's just say that. But let me keep it 100 with you. If you really want to show us that you're trying to make change in our community, then you should be part of our community well before you need our vote. You should be doing something in our community, making a difference. Hell, buy an ice cream truck or some shit. Run it through the community and get 50% off the ice cream. Go participate in something. Do some drive or some giveaways, not when you looking for the exposure. Do it because you really care. Come step up in some of these gyms or do some shit around the community. Don't just show up when you know 6 months from now you're going to be looking for, your name is ringing and you get some credibility. Don't start going to black churches all of a sudden. You ain't been going to the black church. All of a sudden you want to learn how to step your left foot to the music. Dunch, 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 dunch. Lord, Lord, Lord. I ain't on that shit. I've been watching that shit for decades. I've been watching that for decades. And some of us fall for that shit. Election after election. Some of us actually fall for that shit. Election after election. Not me, not I, and I can't go in the same room with those type of folks. Not gonna work out. But I want to know which one of them gonna go over there. It's gonna take a parent. It's gonna take a Angela Satterfield or a Black Fox or Miss James. It's gonna take one of them to take some real shit over there to say something that ain't no political person gonna want to say. I dare one of those wannabe city council members to say this shit. Here's what you say. Let me prepare a small little speech for you. It's very small and quick and straight to the point. Here it is, right here. It's a Joe Biden special, right here for y'all. If you're trying to be on city council, here's the speech that you give while you over at the park or while you at this rally over here. Enough is enough. This is what you say. Ready? You ready? Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time and day. I have a brief statement to make. Enough is enough. Where are my notes? Enough is enough. The killing has to stop. Children have to stop doing grown-up things and playing with guns. But more importantly, parents have to be parents. We have to hold the parents responsible. Uh-oh. I think they unplugged your mic, Louise. Huh? What you mean? You can't say shit like that. You got to blame it on the program. Oh, we need more programs in our neighborhoods. Listen, I'm not trying to put down programs because I'm a program kid. I'm a LeBron's Boys and Girls Club product. But LeBron Boys and Girls Club wasn't there for me every day of my life. LeBron Boys and Girls Club wasn't everything in the world to me. I had to have some other type of guidance. To be honest with you, a lot of my friends that went to the Boys and Girls Club with me, a lot of them went off to do some shit and did time in the penitentiary. Some of them didn't even make it. Some don't even live today. Programs don't necessarily, they're not like the anti get in trouble, like the savior of not getting in trouble. You still got to have a balance at home, because some of these badass kids go to the programs and bring that distortion and that tirade and that crazy shit to the programs. And there's nothing worse than parents who blame programs. I heard in some of the messaging today, and I'm going to step on a few toes. This ain't me being mad at people. I just want to give it a different perspective. I just want to give it a little different perspective. I heard, when I put the post up, let me let you see it again. I'm going to put this post up. Whose responsibility is it to keep their kids busy and out of trouble? Now, y'all know I heard some responses. I read some responses. Some of those responses were legit. Some was on some bullshit. But then I'm going to tell you the one that I read the most of. We need more programs in our neighborhoods. We need places for these kids to go. I know I'm going to say something that nobody's going to like. But your kids got to be right before they can even make it to programs. Or the program is just a pit stop. They're going to go there for a little while. And then somebody going to take them over. It happens all the time. You still got to have structure where these kids lay their head. You can have all the big buddy programs. You can have all the big buddy programs and all the mentorships and all that shit. But little man still got to go home. I watched it all the time. Saint X used to come in and be our big brother program back in the day. Oh, them little dudes, us, they come down to the Boys and Girls Club and pick us up on a Saturday and we go out to Kings Island. I done told this story before. That's how consistent I am. And I didn't really want shit from my big brother because I didn't want his money. Here come all these white dudes rocking they Saint X jackets, the Letterman jackets. My friends couldn't wait to hit a lick on their ass. I'm just built different. Them the same ones that be borrowing money from you and all this old goofy shit. I've been an independent person my entire life. Like me taking money from you kind of made me feel like I couldn't be something. I know there's a lot of people that know what I'm talking about. I don't care the people that think I'm trying to be an elitist. That shit is out of my mind now these days. I don't even rock with that idea. I know that there's so many people that act and think the same way that I do that I'm not ashamed of feeling the way I feel anymore. I used to be ashamed for wanting to be great or wanting to be the best at what I do. And I don't understand why we feel that way. I don't get it. We have let people program us to feel bad for wanting to be good. Mr. Good Shoes, Mr. Good Bar, Mr. This, he think he better. No, I just do better shit. I don't think I'm better because I do make moves. I do things that I just think, okay, that's what I need to do to make it in life. So what's so bad about being good? Oh, he think, yeah. What's bad about you? Y'all know this one. Here's one. If you can't relate to what I'm saying now, what about the ones who get the good grades in school and get laughed at? Now, ain't that the dumbest shit you ever heard? And then we wonder why the geek over in the corner who getting all the good grades, we wonder why they doing something with their life today. Well, we shot our wad on having so much fun. The geek over there is a computer programmer. I knew he was going to be something. All the cool kids laughing at the smart guy. I wouldn't want to be him. He wasting his life trying to be all good. He probably got a dental plan, a 401k, and a pretty good pension. I know, nobody want to hear that shit. Who they? All right, so I just want to say this. The reason why I did not go over to the rally, I was really going. I was anticipating going, and I wanted to go. I was invited by some very good people. But I had fear that I might go over there and be the negative guy. I'd be the dude and be negative. Because sometimes the truth makes you the Debbie Downer or it makes you the negative person. And all I could say is, let's not talk about what's going on out here, because we already know. We see it. We read it. We got victims all around us. We know what's going on. How do we change it tomorrow? How do we implement anything? How do we put a plan together? And what's the implementation date? What's the implementation date? What date does this kick in, and when did it start? When do we start telling parents they need to step up? When is our police chief or city council members or any of these programs, when the chaos agents who got the bullhorns and shit when they down at City Hall because something go wrong, where them same bullhorns at when it's time to wake the parents up from doing what they doing crazy? Where those chaos agents at? Where they at? They hibernating right now till some shit go down. It's something gonna happen sooner or later. Did you hear today that another police officer in Cincinnati has been indicted federally? Cincinnati police officer got indicted federally today for accepting money. Hit the share. I want to share this with you guys. I haven't read and looked into this. I read the story, but I haven't looked into it all the way. I want to read the report. I want to read the police report. I want to read the indictment. I want to read the federal indictment. I don't just go by what reports and what the news and all that say. So I'm just going to handle this one with soft gloves. But my experience will allow me to lead you in the right direction on this. Cincinnati police officer gets indicted today by the federal government, so it's a federal crime, that he was accepting money from nightclubs that he knew. This is what the allegations are, that he knew that it was drug money. Okay, that's not hard to believe. So this officer's been indicted federally because he knew that he was taking money that was being laundered through the nightclubs. You do know chaos agents ain't gonna touch this. You know this is not gonna be a community outcry. You know ain't nobody gonna say shit about this that normally had the bullhorns, and because this shit don't exist when black folks do it. Oh, I forgot to tell you. The police officer happens to be black. See, because with a racist police department, a corrupt police department, racist, corrupt police department, that's the shit they do. So we gonna howdy, ho. They gotta go. We gonna do all that shit. We gonna make a lot of noise. What my chaos agent said, say yeah. All the chaos agents in the house, say yeah. Say yeah. Where they at? So this is what's going on. It's no different than when city council, the members, got indicted. Chaos agents don't talk about that shit. Let that had been for conservative white folks. That's why black people ain't got nothing in Cincinnati now. Look at how they taking all the money and making side deals. Where the chaos agents at now? When it's us doing it, the shit ain't even spoken about. I'm tripping. Now, I'm not saying it's not being talked about anywhere. I'm talking about the specific chaos agents that handle the signs and be out there hidey hoeing and all that old shit. That's what I'm talking about. Where they at? You can find the article on Cincinnati.com. It's already been reported on Channel 19 News as well. In Cincinnati. 19 Fox or whatever it is. And it's just a report saying that this individual was taking money from nightclubs where they were doing a detail. He was doing details. I'm not saying he's guilty or not guilty. It doesn't have anything to do with that. I'm just talking about all this misconduct of money. And when the stories come out, Where's the energy for them? That's all. And no, Stephanie High said he's not the only one. Others just haven't gotten caught yet. There's a federal investigation going on in Cincinnati in so many different areas. But this seems to be a very, very quiet town to have 4 indicted city council members. As much politics and shit that y'all talk in Cincinnati, especially black radio, y'all always talking about some shit somebody doing to you. Then you got people that say shit like, well, you know, we had a black lady on city council and I felt like she should have been replaced by a black lady. You mean the black lady that got indicted and went to jail? That's you could come up. Okay. Okay. If the color mean that much to you, fine. Everybody's can have their opinion, but I don't understand why the color thing means so much. What was an indicted person doing for you? Sound like to me they was trying to get their own come up on. I don't understand how we got to say things like the same black folks that got put off of or taken off of city council need to be replaced by some more black folks. That sound ignorant to me. I need somebody, whatever color they are, I need the policy to be the right color. I need the policy to be the right thing. We've learned time after time, it don't matter what color you are as a politician. It's all about green. I didn't heard some of the most ridiculous shit in the world, but I know why people say that. I know you need an audience I know people need people to watch and they don't know. I mean, I get it. You got to keep Coca-Cola happy. You know what I'm saying? If you're just getting here or whatever, you got to keep Coca-Cola happy. If you don't keep Coca-Cola happy, they ain't going to want to sponsor you. They ain't going to advertise with you. You got to keep your audience right. You got to keep people that believe that bullshit right. Just saying. I'm just being honest. So the rally in Avondale is for some people, and it's a great cause, but I don't think it's for me, and I wish everybody over there well. I even have given out my support. A couple of the ladies are starting a program. I'll let them make their announcement. I'm not going to spoil it. But of course they asked me to help them. I shouldn't say of course they asked me, but they asked me, and of course I'm willing to help them. We'll promote it on the show, and of course I'll give. I'll be the first one to write a check to help it get going. That's just my word. I've already said it. That's my word. And the reason went by is because it's victims. It's family victims of gun violence around here. So once I get involved, I expect to be heard beyond Wyatt-Live. Now, my words, I'm going to need some help. I'm going to need some background. I'm going to need some backbone. I'm going to need some people pushing me forward from the back. Because the things that I'm going to say is going to be the shit that I feel like others should be saying. Who's seen the other post that I put up? The school buses. I'll let you see it. Now, I was just playing, but I was serious, but I was just playing a little bit, just being goofy. And I said, anyone kids still getting home from school today? From yesterday's bus ride? And I said, chaos agents had to find something to fuss about. I didn't go over too well. Some people hit me up like, bro, what you talking about? I'm just being honest, because what I seen was kids getting on the bus. Everything was going smooth. There was a couple situations, but if it was yellow buses, those same situations could have jumped off. Same thing could have happened on yellow buses. One kid got on the wrong bus and went to went somewhere across the city, just read the numbers wrong, made a mistake. That happens. But they gave out over 2,300 bus passes. And so far, Cincinnati.com wrote a story on one little girl that got lost. 2,300 bus passes. People was putting on the timeline and in the messenger group and on Facebook a snapshot of all the kids standing on the bus stops. Chaos. Just chaos. Chaos. And what's the irony in this is this, and people ain't gonna like this. This ain't gonna go over too well, but it's the truth. I'm just giving you a piece of my truth. The crazy thing about them showing their pictures about the kids standing at the bus stop and lined up and bang, 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 and them putting the spins of that's a busy intersection, all that on there. It was just creating chaos of the situation. And then I would look at the TV, and then I'm watching the kids over in Afghanistan. And I'm like, Afghanistan, Facebook. Afghanistan, Facebook. Damn, these kids got it tough on Facebook. I was being sarcastic. Them Afghanistan kids got a hell of a lot ways to go. They got a whole lot more other shit going on. I think the bus thing will get situated, guys. I don't think that it's going to be something that we need to be worried about. I'll be honest with you. I've seen a whole lot more parents that don't really necessarily look like me that have more of a problem with it. You know, we have this school in Cincinnati called Walnut Hills. Those Walnut Hill parents was all upset, and you know, they had probably good reason, because little Johnny got to ride all the way from some other neighborhood that's not affiliated with Cincinnati. You know, not inner city Cincinnati, not in our little small quick outskirt, but a little further out, and that kid might have a little longer ride. One dad happened to not look like me, was a white guy. He did a couple days before his daughter was due for school, they did like a pre-route. A pre-test of the route. How many parents who was bitching and complaining did that with their kids? Oh, it's easy to bitch and complain, but it ain't too easy to do some shit about it. Or to show that you really, really are concerned by doing a test route with your kid. You just rather bitch and complain, but you ain't gonna get on the 49 and ride it downtown with your kid, with your son or your daughter, and then transfer to the 11 and go out to Madisonville or wherever you got to go to school, and then ride it back the same way. We can't do that type of quality time. We working. We got too much to do, but we got enough time to bitch and complain about how things are going. How many of you did it? I know it's Friday. We about to get out of here. How many of you did it, or how many of you know a parent that actually did a pre-route with their kid? Who know that? Who did it? Throw your hands in the air. Come on, it's Friday. You about to go to the happy hour if your ass ain't there already. Put your drinks in the air, take a sip for me, and tell me that you went on a test route with your kid. Hard to get participation on that one, because I can guarantee you a lot of people didn't do it. But they had some shit to say. This is messed up. They just don't care about our kids. Do you care enough to get on the bus with your child days prior and do a test run with your child? Do you care that much? Or is it even necessary? And I know I heard Miss Reed even came on and said, and I'm not picking on her, this is real talk. She came in the messenger and she said that her daughters or her grandkids or somebody in her family, it was an immediate family, got out of school at 4 o'clock and they didn't get home till 7:30. That can't happen every day. There's always going to be some wrinkles and some things that need to be ironed out when you first get started. That's always going to happen in situations like this. Hell, the first day you go on a job, you might stay a little later. You might take a longer route to get home because you didn't know a shortcut. There's always going to be some things that need to be wrinkled out when things first get started. It just happens. Back in my day, I had to ride a bus downtown, and then there was two buses, two options I had to get to my house. One got closer to the house than the other, but I knew that the one that would get me further from my house, that one was a little closer to get to, and it was coming faster. So I might take that one sometimes and get close to my house, and then I had a little walk to get home. And then if I wanted to be lazy and stay downtown a little longer, 20 minutes or 25 minutes later or something like that, I'd wait for the other bus to come, and it'll drop me off fairly close to my house. But it was what mood I was in, and I had to learn those options were for me. Me being independent. Probably helped me today to be deciphering the decisions that I make. I don't know. When you know you have options, it broadens your horizons in life. But when you only think you have one route, one thing to go, one direction to go in, you ride it the best you can and you make the best out of it. But one thing I learned in life, folks, is if you don't give yourself options, or if you don't provide yourself options, you're very limited in what you can do. That's just me giving you a little bit of my, how I feel about it. Miss Reed comes in. She said something earlier today, and she said she was one that made a comment about the post that I put up. And it was this: whose responsibility is it? Hold on, I'm sorry, I got that covered up a little bit. Let me move that. Whose responsibility is it to keep their kids busy and out of trouble? She came in with a post that made, I was like, yeah, tell they ass, Miss Reed, my bad. She's church lady for real though. She's an elder of mine from down the way, and I don't want to say anything crazy. Now, Miss Reed, you got somebody for real on here now that I respect to the point where I have to take the parental advisory down when she enters the building so I can remind myself not to say nothing crazy. So I'm going to take it down, keep myself right. But she did make a comment that I was like, yes. She was like, it's the parents. And she kept on going with some stuff. You can go to my Facebook page and read it. She also comes in and she says, Cincinnati Enquirer is the worst media who rarely do positive stories when it's involved black people or the black community. Unless it's Kevin Aldridge writing the story. Don't count on the Enquirer to report accurate news. That's Miss Reed's opinion. I'm going to have to agree with her. Sorry, get mad if you want to. I understand exactly where she's coming from. I understand. I think we all could do a better job putting more positive information out. When I do it, my views go down. Miss Reed, I wish you'd see it. Soon as I start talking positive and start talking about what we can do and how we can help each other, and let's start a Black Wall Street and let's get this going and do this and do that, don't nobody want to hear that. Nobody wants to hear that. Well, Miss Reed, here's where I'm not disagreeing with you because I know where you are with this, because you from a village. You from a village. Those days that I preach village, they don't think like that anymore, Miss Reed. I already know what you're thinking. Correct me if I'm wrong. You said, and the child responsibility, not just the parents. Let me ask you a question, if you're still here. You say it's not just the parents. Are you meaning that the village should be raising our kids with us? Me being a parent, I should be able to rely on my neighbors to help me if my child is doing something disrespectful out here or doing something wrong. Are you referring to the village? because we speak that over here, Miss Reed, all the time, and it don't go over too well. The village spoke to the young lady who gave her 13-year-old son a strip party. For his 13th birthday, his mama, who probably wasn't no more than 30 herself, 35, maybe, I don't know, gave her son strippers for his birthday. When the village spoke, the village wasn't saying nothing that nobody should be listening to, because that village was very disrespectful. That village, when was speaking that day, was saying some things that I could see why she don't want to listen. It was a bad day for the village, Ms. Reed. It really was. The village was giving her a hard time, and it was very disrespectful. She did something wrong. She did something that she didn't know any better. What mother does something like that if they know better? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, some of us know better than to do certain things, but we let things slide. But that's something that you know better. If you know better, you can't possibly let something like that slide. That's a I'm ignorant situation. Like, I didn't know. But now you see, I knew you was talking about village. I knew that's where you were going, Miss Reed, because listen, I remember back in the day when you were the village. You don't think I remember that? You don't think I remember going to the YMCA down on, what was that? Off of Lynn Street down on Ezra Charles, and you was down there. I remember you, Miss Reed. I remember I remember. Miss Reed was one of them that didn't take no mess. You didn't disrespect her. Why? Because she was a village leader. You remember them days, Miss Reed? Or should I not be talking? Should I leave it alone, Miss Reed? Because they don't have that cloth cut like you anymore, sis. My apologies, ma'am, mom. They don't have it like that. That cloth is not there anymore. We're not cut like that. Our leadership is different. Our leadership is self-serving now. Our leadership is pump faking loyalty to the black community. I'm sorry, Miss Reed. What needs to be said needs to be said. A lot of our leadership is only out for self. That's why it's difficult for me to do the show that I do. You can listen to shows all day. Listen to the leadership. They're entertainers, not educators. Not all, some. They sit back, talk all that stuff. You know, it all sound good. It's black this, it's black that. I'm sorry, I got to put my advisory thing back up because I'm starting to feel it. But true leaders bring something to the table than just a voice. You know, we can say Martin Luther King was a leader. He wasn't just a leader by voice, now was he? Did he not set out example? Did he not step out in front? He was a front line, in the front of the line leader, and he spoke about it. Let's just be real. Listen, I want to leave on a positive note because it's Friday and I want everybody to have an enjoyable weekend. I want to say this to you, and I want to say this in a positive way. We don't have a lot of people on right now, and that doesn't shock me. I'm okay with that. But I want to thank those that do come in and give us the time, give us their attention. It means a lot to me because unlike most, I have no sponsors. I have no one I have to keep happy other than myself, because when I get off of here, I have to be able to live with me. I have to be able to say, I want to be respected as a black man. I want to be able to be respected in my community for being someone that's not guiding them in the wrong direction just so they could say he has a show. You know, sometimes, how many of us have been punished by our parents or our guardian, and you remember those punishments back in the day and you hated that shit, but you lived through it and you grow up and you say, boy, I'm glad mama kept my ass straight, kept me straight off of this and kept me out of that. I'm so glad, because I could have ended up like my friend who I thought was cool. Miss Reed says she thinks it's cute, but she is setting her child up for human trafficking. Also, our young people, some millennials, has been programmed and they realize it. She's talking about the mom, I'm sure, that did the strip party for her son, who was 13. That's a tragedy to me. But let me tell you what I did. I don't know who all knew this, but I did a show on it, and I offered to be part of that family's life if I could. I never got a response. I didn't want to be Mr. Goodbar. I wasn't trying to show off on nobody or nothing like that. I went in on the situation, and then I backed up a little bit, and I said, well, when people don't know, they don't know. And most of the time, the reason why we don't know is because we haven't opened our hearts up to someone that could actually guide us in the right direction. Miss Reed, I hope you're still here. I want you to hear something. Sometimes a lot of us are misinformed about great people or people that want to do great things for people. And we're misinformed by those who don't have that same opportunity to be led by those people. I just want you to know, sometimes rumors and talks about people are coming from people that may not have that same opportunity. If I open my heart up for somebody and then somebody sees that, they may have a problem with that connection there. So what they do is they try to connect, they try to interfere with that connection and make the person that could help that other person, you know, the person that really need to help, they make that person feel bad about that person that can help them. And then they start manipulating those minds and start making people, that's our problem. Our problem is when we start doing the each one teach one, some that you're not teaching right now will make those that you are teaching apprehensive about you. Oh, he ain't no good, bro. He just doing this for him and blah, blah, blah. Or he cheats you and blah, blah, blah. They do that to interrupt the greatness that your person is going to have. They know they can't jump it off on the person that's ahead and the person that's really there to teach. They know better because they know they're not as brief, they're not as swift as that person. But if they can take advantage of the person that don't know, the one who you trying to school and try to maybe help, then that's who they will attack with the nonsense. And then if that person is not really ready, because maybe those two people have, you know, a longer relationship, then they can mess up that person's opportunity. To me, in this world, the young folks call that hating on somebody. To me, I look at it like this. I'm trying to help this young man, but this young man don't like that, so he wants to interfere and get into that young man's ear, and then it messes up a relationship here. I'm not mad at that individual for that. I'm a little upset at this individual that you also tried to help, but they didn't want it. They wasn't ready for it. Or they wanted your help the way they want you to give it to them. It don't always work that way. Sometimes the way you help people, listen, I don't interrupt with my blessings. When I'm being blessed by God, I don't tell God, hold on a second, you got to give me my blessing like this. I'm not that damn demanding when my blessings are coming at me. I sit back and I let them fall where they fall. Some of us, we don't quite do that. Some of us are so, I don't want to say arrogant, but some of us are so self-serving that we can get a blessing from God and tell God, hurry up. I need it now. And God don't quite work that way. Blessings don't quite work that way. And what I've learned is I serve it. I'm just being honest with you guys. I serve blessings the same way that I give them. I serve the blessings the same way that I get them. You see what I'm saying? I don't know how else to say it. So if I'm a blessing to someone, if I can bless somebody, don't rush it. Because the blessing that came to me to be able to do this for you, I didn't rush it to come to me. I let it come the way it needed to come. I'm not trying to take you to church this evening. I'm just being honest and letting you know that one of our problems in our neighborhood, and the reason why the village is not being a functional village anymore, is because we can't really stand to see somebody get ahead. It's a sad shame thing. And if we, and here's what happens, and I'll end it on this. Hate need allies in order to function. So if this young man don't like me, that young man has to bring, or young woman or whoever it is, they have to build allies to form an alliance against me, and they all make it sense. But now all blessings are blocked. That's how we end up crab in the barrel syndrome. It only takes one to influence few to make a massive failure. I'm the age that I am today because I've experienced a lot and I've never let any of it bother me. I ain't always been that way, but I learned not to let that come in age, don't it, Miss Reed? Don't it? And y'all know sis look good. I ain't gonna lie, Miss Reed, like you got it going on. And you know, you like, you know what I'm saying, got a few years on me, but you got it going on. I ain't gonna lie. Y'all gotta go check out Miss Reed. I ain't trying to, I know this might sound like she about to sick her sons and all them on me, but I'm just saying, like, you've always been a sharp lady, man. I mean, it's always been crazy. But like, I ain't seen you age in 20 years. I haven't seen you age in 20 years. You're just one of them ladies. You like my grandmother was, who aged very gracefully. Like my grandmother I never seen my grandmother get old. I'm not calling you granny or nothing. I'm just saying, like, my grandmother had those genes. It runs in our family. Like, you know, we just tend to stay looking young. And I hope that stays with me. I hope I still have it. Y'all know I'm only 30. Oh, I was hoping you wouldn't put your age on here. I was hoping you would, so I could really tell the truth. She says, I will be 64 in October. Take Temple, and God will take care of you. God bless you, Miss Reed. God bless you. I ain't gonna lie. I hope you don't cancel me. I hope you don't sick the family on me. I know your daughter and all of them. I hope you don't sick nobody on me, but Miss Reed, you've been fine since the 80s. I ain't gonna lie. So, I mean, it is what it is. Y'all think I'm flirting, but she my mother age now. Come on, y'all tripping. I'm just saying. I did. Damn, cuz you can't be telling my secrets. I did. I had a little crush on Miss Reed when she was down at the YMCA. I ain't gonna lie. But I'm glad that I grew up, and I'm glad that she's still here to know it. That was a little secret for the last many years. She was just so cool. And she had a daughter a little younger than me. That's what's crazy. I don't know what it was. Miss Reed just used to, you know, she just used to handle herself. She was a grown-ass lady, and she used to handle herself. Sorry, Miss Reed, let's move on. I'm about to get on out of here. This Friday is getting out of hand. I don't drink, so I'm going to take my sweet tea here. I'm going to watch the Bengal game here in a minute. And I'm on Houday. I love watching preseason football, unlike most. A lot of people don't like to watch preseason football. I love to watch preseason football because I love to watch the guys who's trying to get a job. Them the ones that's going hard. Preseason football is like college football to me. Them guys got something to live. They got something to work for. They trying to get somewhere. They trying to sign a check. They trying to get a contract. They play hard. One day they playing in the NFL with a preseason contract. If they make it, they sign a multi-million-dollar contract, and we got one more black man, one more brother, one more guy that's a millionaire in this America. In this America, in the United States of America, by the stroke of a pen, you just became a millionaire. Only in America. The greatest country on this planet. And to be honest with you, the ones that don't make it will be frying hamburgers next week. But hey, they had an opportunity. And only in America do you have an opportunity to be all you can be when you want to be it. Those that don't, try or want to blame or call it, blame somebody. I don't have the patience for that. I don't have the patience for that. We live in a country where you can be all you can be. So let's start taking advantage of it. A lot of people may not agree with that, but I'll end the show by saying this to you. I'm a kid from 1335 John Street, Laura Holmes. I've always dreamed big. And as far as I'm concerned, I am the American dream.
Got the power.
See you guys tomorrow at 5 o'clock. No, I'm sorry, it's Friday. Go get your drink on. Go celebrate. You made it through another week. Oh my God. What I'm gonna do is I'll see you guys Monday at 5. You was on my side, cuz.
Don't say this, don't say that, change your lyrics. Everybody's a critic. It's getting kinda hectic. My rhyme is authentic, so it shall remain. My writing exciting, never mundane. In actuality, my personality keeps my mentality based on real life situations, not speculations, but verbal illustrations of how I feel. Yo, boy, without substance or content, you need to slow your speed, stop the nonsense. These are the words of the rising sun, surprising some who thought I was just another humdrum. I'll take a page, write a phrase, and rephrase it, treat it like a national flag and upraise it, so a nation of people can feel proud about a brother who speaks out real loud.
I'll see you guys Monday, man. Peace and love to everybody. Be safe. I don't want no headings this weekend. Put them guns down, young folks. Holla! Signing off. Holla.
attack, front to back, in this thing called rap. Digging like a shovel, rhyme double on a heavenly level. Bang the bass, turn up the treble. Radical mind, day and night all the time. 714, wise, divine, maniac, brainiac, winner the game. I'm the lyrical Jesse James.
The Hansons are going wherever the open road takes them, and no matter where they end up...